Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Sarah Carter podcast, November 6th. And I woke up. I can't even believe I even got any sleep last night. I don't know if any of you had any sleep. I know almost everyone I know has been up night after night since November 3rd, just watching what's happening to our country, watching what's happening in this election. And now it looks like Joe Biden, the numbers, they're calling the numbers for Arizona to go to Joe Biden. I spoke with Representative Andy Biggs on the podcast yesterday. And, Maricopa County is a big Republican county, but apparently right now, a lot of votes in Maricopa, the county that they were expecting to go to President Trump, has now gone to Joe Biden by like 60,000 votes. Last minute things that are happening. Georgia, there's actually going to be a recount in Georgia. I think that's absolutely necessary. Pennsylvania, I don't know if you've gone to my Twitter, but please go there because we've just posted an investigative video by Christian Anderson. He's a lawyer. He's an expert in this field. And he was actually in Pennsylvania for the last month investigating their voter registration rolls. And you can't even imagine what he found there. They didn't want to clean up the voter rolls in Pennsylvania. Philly, especially, and in Pittsburgh. Take a look at that. He's like literally walking around trying to find people on the voter rolls with their addresses. And when he shows up, it's businesses, a lot of businesses, empty fields, empty lots, people that no longer live there, people that have died. Still, they all got mail-in ballots, allegedly. And now we're seeing what's happening in Pennsylvania. We're watching what happened in Michigan. Just go on the web and look at what some people have been recording. Look, this isn't about, I saw things out there like, oh, you're a sore loser, or they're telling people who are asking for this election to be investigated and they want President Trump to take it to the courts. They're trying to say, oh, you're just a sore loser. No, look, if Joe Biden won fair and square, he won fair and square. But this is the United States of America, and every vote should count. We are not a banana republic. For the last 4 years, all I've been doing, I was just telling Jenny Terra this morning, she's a writer on my website. She works with me. She's amazing. I was telling her, I feel like it's been one day. This whole 4 years has been one long, exhausting day. And every single day since before the president was elected in 2016, all the stories that we broke, the unmasking, the weaponization of our intelligence apparatus, the weaponization of our FBI, mountains of evidence of text messages between government officials, emails, State Department under Obama, the fact that Joe Biden was actually at the White House talking about charging, right? Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, who was the national security advisor for President Trump, with the Logan Act, that they were all sitting together. The fact that Susan Rice sent an email to self, the fact that John Brennan, the former head of the CIA, was working with James Clapper, the former head of the DNI, along with James Comey, who was the head of the FBI then, to target President Trump with Russian disinformation that basically said, President Trump was working with the Russians. All of this lies, you guys. All of this was lies, and they know it. And they didn't care. You know why they didn't care? Because the bureaucracy is corrupted. It's corrupted from the inside so bad. It's like a rotten apple, right? We just didn't see it. We didn't see it really until President Trump was elected by the American people, by us deplorables, right? Because that's how they see you. They really do. They can't stand you. This isn't about President Trump. This is about they don't want you to hold them accountable. See, we got to pay them with our tax dollars. We got to pay all these losers in Washington, D.C. with our tax dollars, and we expect them to represent us and do their job. But they don't care. Most of them really don't. They just care about lining their pockets, staying in office, living inside this bureaucracy that basically, look at it. Anytime the shit hits the fan in America, What happens in Washington, D.C. and in the outskirts of Washington, D.C.? What happens here? Everybody's fine. They're fine. They got jobs. They don't care. They don't have to work for you. It takes a mountain of paperwork and HR crap to even get someone fired. You know what they do at the agencies? When they don't want someone anymore, they move them up, move them out. They get paid more money. All these people who came after our nation, who came after our president, who laughed in our faces, literally laughed in our faces. You remember when Comey was laughing about sending over Peter Strzok and Joe Pientka to the White House and talking about how disorganized, this White House was? It's a smug look on his face. He sends them down there so that they can interview and trick Flynn into talking to them. You know that smug little snarky guy that did that? That guy's coming back. All these guys, they don't care about you. They don't care about you at all. President Trump, he might not have been perfect. He might have not had the same political fakeness that what Americans used to complain about all the time. They used to hate it. Oh, he's such a politician. Oh my gosh, look at that guy kissing the baby. Oh, he's trying to pretend he goes to church every Sunday. All of the crap that we as America said about politicians in the past, all of a sudden it was like, oh, he's just inappropriate the way he talks. President Trump, look at what he's doing. All of a sudden we're elitists. We're not rebels anymore, AKA, look at the bottom, AKA rebel. I don't care. I really do not care. This is why Dan Bongino and others of us that are out there, Buck Sexton, Sean Hannity, others that have just started telling, what we feel, the truth. This is how we really feel. We have been stepped all over as Americans by this bureaucracy. This nation was founded because we didn't want to be under the thumb of the British, monarchy, right? We wanted freedom. We wanted to be able to think for ourselves, to do things that we believe, to have a say in our future, which is an election. But look, you're telling me that there's no need to investigate? That's what I'm saying to people out there that are like, oh, too bad, Biden won, let it go, move on. No, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to move on. They need to investigate. They need to take some of this stuff to the courts. Even if Biden ends up as president, which he will, more than likely. That's the facts right now. Because all of those people, including William Barr, remember William Barr, the attorney general, is going to come out and do all these great things. They had a mountain of evidence. Guys, if this was our children or us committing any of these crimes, even minor parts of these crimes, we would be in jail. Trust me. Trust me, a prosecutor would have come after us, handcuffed us, done what they did to Roger Stone, an old man, and I've talked about this before, with his wife laying in bed in the early morning hours with an armada of FBI agents pointing guns at his home. Is that okay? Are you okay with that as an American? That's okay with you? Think about it. If that's okay with you, what's wrong with you? Who are you? What kind of nation do you want? What future is it that you want for your children? President Trump's the first president that hasn't gotten us into war. Think about that. In a long time. In his first 4 years of office, he's done nothing but try to reduce that, hold China accountable, bring jobs back to America, really pump up the stock market, bring jobs back, the lowest unemployment rate in recorded history for African Americans and Latinos. For those of you who voted for Biden, watch what Biden and Kamala Harris do to your communities. This is going to be so fascinating. This is going to be so interesting. Sometimes you get what you want. They'll get what they want. Only the people in Washington. That's who's going to get what they want. I was talking this morning to my husband. He was so upset. And so many of his friends, that are in the military, they're not happy at all with what's happened here. They actually know the difference between the Obama administration and this administration. And I'm not talking about the lieutenant colonels at the Pentagon. Sorry, guys. Some of you are really awesome, but the majority of you are just political assholes trying to get to the top. I'm talking about the guys who actually went to war, the people who were on the front lines, some that never came back, some that lost their limbs or their eyes, like my husband. Those people, the people who actually are sent out to fight the wars. Those people, the people who are actually in the middle of some nation they've never been ever before, sometimes 18 years old, 19 years old, 21 years old, looking down the barrel of a gun of a guy they don't even understand. Those guys. You know, my husband's right. He was so frustrated. Like, how is this happening in the United States of America? How is it that I went to fight for my country, believed in this country, believed in what we stood for, believed in our Constitution, believed in the rule of law, and all I have seen for the last 4 years is corruption exposed and now possibly a stolen election? We would go to countries, right? Remember that? Iraq. Oh, we got to go after Saddam Hussein. He's horrible. He's a tyrant. Okay. Oh, look at what's happening in Bosnia. Look at what's happening in Herzegovina. Oh, my goodness. Look at what's happening in Rwanda. Horrific genocide. That, by the way, the Clintons just totally screwed up on. And the last second, you know, so many people, over 800,000 slaughtered. That's a lesson learned there. Think about what's happened all over our world. Think about the governments that oppress their people and treat them without any dignity. Think about the liars here in the United States now, like Ilhan Omar and all those people like, you know, Linda Sarsour. She's one of them. How awesome they are. They want everybody to just get along, but they don't. They don't. They're all liars. They're all liars. When do you ever see those women actually stick up for the women of Afghanistan? All these feminists here in the United States, not just them, you know, feminists all across the board. When did they stick up for all the women, you know, overseas who are being held prisoner by their own husbands, by their governments, like in Saudi Arabia, Jordan? I live there. I know. And I spent a lot of time in Iraq and in Afghanistan. What about Afghanistan with the Taliban? When did they stand up for those women? Or even genital mutilation in Nigeria? When do they even talk about it? They don't even talk about it. It's not culturally appropriate, right? But it's okay to bag on the United States 24/7. It's okay to go after the president 24/7. It's okay to just do whatever. I mean, look, they're doing whatever they want in Washington right now. And then you have guys, let me go back, you know, like my husband and the men and women who fought for this country, and they're just sitting back going, wait a minute, whoa, stop the bus. What's going on here? What was I actually fighting for? Is this over? Is it? Is America just throwing in the towel? They don't even want to. I'm telling you, I've talked to so many people that just don't want to work in the government anymore. They don't trust this country anymore. That's really bad. That's really bad. When you have people that love this nation so much, they want us to get along. What happened to that past? What happened to the times where we could talk to one another? Do you ever wonder why 49% now of young people surveyed, millennials surveyed, think socialism is okay? Wake up, you guys. What's happening in our country is not normal. This is not the America of our forefathers. There is something very dangerous happening here. Something that will fundamentally change this nation forever. This nation was supposed to be about us, not about them. Think about what Comey and Brennan and Clapper and Susan Rice and Loretta Lynch and Sally Yates and former President Obama, all of these people. Think about who they are and what they have done. 47 years of Joe Biden in office. What has he done? What do you, for those few of you who voted for him who are watching me now, what did he ever do for you? What did he do? What did the Obama administration do? Did the Obama administration have the lowest unemployment rate for African Americans and minorities in the United States? What did the Obama administration really do with Russia? How did it handle China? How did it handle Iran? Welcome back. Hey, Iran, you got a great guy in office. China, you're going to love China Joe. He's awesome. He's going to just be doing everything you want. Do you have any more videos of his son, or are they all exposed? Think about what's going on here, people, and don't be fooled. This apparatus, this machine in Washington is so powerful and so strong, they've pretty much done whatever they wanted. They put people in power that would never hold them accountable. Look at the Department of Justice. What have they done? What have they done to hold anybody accountable since President Trump was elected? Remember Jeff Sessions? That guy was a real loser. Yeah, he didn't do a thing. And then Barr came in with all this pontificating, and they were spying on the Trump, campaign, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. You know what? Even if he does something right now, like they're going to charge Kevin Kleinsmith with give him a little slap on the wrist, that guy who, altered a FISA, just that little thing, just stepped all over Fourth Amendment rights of Carter Page, who was a short-time volunteer for the Trump campaign, just practically destroyed his life by leaking false information on him throughout the whole planet, basically saying he was in the pocket of Russia when he was actually working for the CIA. Jenny tweeted something out, and I don't want to forget it, the other day, and she was saying how sad she was that most Americans would never, Republicans in particular, the GOP, would never really know that what really happened with the Russia investigation. Well, that's our job, right? As the media, to tell the stories, to investigate, and to ensure that the American people know the truth. The reason I never wrote a book over the last 4 years, everybody else did. They were great books. I'm not saying that they weren't. Friend Greg Jarrett wrote a really great book, The Russia Hoax. Dan Bongino's written books. Others have written books. Andrew McCarthy. I can go on and on and on. Kimberly Strassel wrote a really great book. There's been a lot. Lou Dobbs, Judge Janine. There are a lot of people that have been writing books out there. And John Solomon. I don't want to forget that either. But the reason I didn't write a book is because I said this story isn't over until it's over. Because we really don't know what's going on here. And in my heart, I believed it was far bigger and far greater than even what we had been writing on over the last 4 years. And the sad tragedy is I was right. And I do plan on writing that book. And I do plan on exposing them. And guess what? As an American, I still love this country. I still love what our founding fathers envisioned for this nation. I still believe in it. I still have faith in it. I know some of you don't. I know it's hard for me to say this too, but I do. I essentially believe in that Constitution because this type of tyranny won't last. People won't put up with it. They'll vote people out of office. They'll put new people in. The American people will not put up with it. We're from all over the world, and mainly we're all from places where either our families were oppressed or had to escape communism or God only knows what else, like we're seeing now, war, famines. We're strong people. We're people that come from all over the world to find hope here and to build better life for our family. And some of us have been here for generations, and some of us have only been here for days. I had to laugh before I let y'all go. There's a lady who's like a very close friend of mine, and she's actually from Bolivia. And she hasn't been able to vote. She has a green card. She's going to get her citizenship this year. But her daughter is 21 and actually went to the voting station here in Virginia to vote for the first time. And she walked in and they were very excited. Virginia, some areas of Northern Virginia are like 75 to 80% Democrat. And she walked in and so excited, I'm going to vote for the first time. And I guess she wasn't thinking. And she said, I'm so excited. I'm going to vote for President Trump. He's so, it's just so exciting. And they said, oh, really? Why? And she was like, well, she's pro-life. Well, he cares about unborn children and he's always said what he means. And she kind of told them that, and they're like, oh, and they were kind of disgusted with her. And then they looked at her mom, who has a heavy accent, and they asked her, well, are you going to vote? And she said, no, I have a green card. I'm going to be an American citizen soon. But if I could have voted, I would have voted for Trump. Don't believe the lies of the left. There are a lot of people from all over the world that really, really appreciate law and order, freedom, and the opportunity that this country brings. And they know where they came from. They know the corruption of the countries that they left behind. And for those of you who have forgotten that corruption, or for those of you who don't care, I mean, I don't know what to say. This is a country that I'm so proud of, one that I'm willing to give my life for too, one that I believe in. And I'm so proud of the people that have made this nation great. And I'm so proud of President Trump and his administration. And I really pray for our country. And I pray that they fight this in the courts and do it the right way. And you know what? If it ends up that we have President Biden, great. I'm just going to have to live through the next 4 years of it and keep on fighting, keep on holding them accountable, just like you out there. I'll continue to report on the administration and what they're doing. And I'm not going to be afraid, and they're not going to silence me. And guess what? They're not going to silence you. Thanks so much for being a part of the Sarah Carter Show today. This special is heartfelt, and I guess in the next few days, we'll have an answer as to which direction this election is going. Remember, you can follow me on any podcast out there, whatever you use, iTunes, Spotify. Please give us a 5-star rating if you get the opportunity, and a review. We actually do read all your reviews, and I love to read your comments on Twitter at Sarah Carter DC. And remember, you can follow me at sarahacarter.com for the latest stories. Remember, America, we're taking the story back.